Good morning. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about my other store that I opened up. That's on Clarence. No, I can't even remember my own address. That's on Cotillion and Coney Island Avenue. Okay, so after I left the store on Flatbush and Cotillion, um, with the nice Indian couple, they was really nice to me and everything. And I found another spot. So I went over there. How I found the spot? My son's school was over there. Because, I was trying to be a mom at the time, so I stopped doing regular work and I opened up my business. So I just wanted to be available for my son. So, if the school needed me or whatever, because I didn't really have that, so I wanted to do it for my son. So anyway, I moved up on Cotillion in Coney Island. I met this woman named Marlo Archer, or Marla Archer, the Archers, husband and wife team. Now, I was supposed to rent the place next door to them, but he wanted me to redo everything and leave. When I leave everything, he's not gonna be paying me for nothing. So the contract was lousy. So then I was walking down. I guess she heard or whatever, and they was talking or whatever. And she said she's renting her space. So I went in, I looked at the space. It was a nice big space. And she was closing down her shop. She had a thrift store. And so I said, okay. So, to make a long story short, a couple of weeks after that, I signed a lease and everything like that. And for the basement, and for the first floor and the backyard. All three of them was included. And she gave me a quote. And I said, okay, I'll pay that, because I always had big dreams. I said I was going to have the backyard, make it into a sitting area for the customers in the summertime, a little barbecue, you know, do it up for the customers. And because I went to this restaurant one time, Two Boots or something like that, and they had like a backyard and everything for the customers and stuff like that. And I really liked it, so I wanted it for my store. Um, so I did that. Then I was gonna fix the basement up, also for a nice spa area, nails downstairs and hair and stuff upstairs. Like I said, I always had big dreams, and it was a real big store, real big. And so she said okay. So when I was supposed to get the keys, I called her and I said, oh, I'm ready for the keys, blah, blah, blah. Meantime, I already set up the contractors, which was my dad, you know. My stepdad, he's a contractor, so he had to get him and his friends together, whatever. So I had to pay them. Yeah, I told him I want to pay you because family. You get the five-finger discount, and they don't want to do nothing. And I'm like, no. I told my dad, I'm like, treat me like a customer. I want my stuff done on time. I do business with him. So he said, okay. He started laughing. I said, no, Dad. I said, if I have to get a discount and you do whenever you feel like it, I'm like, no, charge me, not charge me, but do me like a customer. What are you gonna charge me? So anyway, he laughed and he told me a price or whatever. So I had him all set up with his guys and everything. I went to pick up the key. She gonna ask me for 2 more weeks. I wasn't too happy. I told her the situation. I said, I already set up all this stuff, because I want a budget. Because I budget my stuff. So she said, oh, I wasn't ready. Da, 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 da. So I said, okay, all my stuff is not out. So I said, okay. So I gave her the 2 weeks. Meanwhile, I already paid her for to start on the first of the month. And she got my money. First and second. Yeah, first month rent and security. You understand? Again, they think people's young and stupid or whatever, and she's Guyanese. So anyway, so I told my dad that he can't start whatever, and he said okay. He's a little upset because he, like, we planned. He had people to help him or whatever, so he planned whatever. 2 weeks later, so 2 weeks later, she did give me the keys or whatever, and my dad and his boys started, working. So I wanted to hurry up and start businesses because people started coming in and asking me, when is your shop open? When is your shop open? So I said, oh, it's opening. Even this is another story. There was a hair braiding place across the street, and there was another beauty salon like 2 blocks away from my spot, Jamaican, 2 blocks away from my spot. They came over, acted like customers to find out what's going on in my store. I said, oh, we opening it up in a couple of weeks or whatever the case may be. And then there was an African lady across the street who does braids and whatever. And she also came and she said, welcome to the neighborhood. They all acted like they was welcoming me to the neighborhood and whatever, fine. So, well, not a long story short, but onto the story. So anyway, finally I got a key from Marlo and her husband, and my father started fixing up the place, and he fixed it up real nice or whatever, and he said, since the place downstairs is not going to be ready yet for the nails, I'm going to make you a nail spot. So he lifted up the floor and put a nail spot there, and I had my chairs and everything like that. And then in the back, he put a spot for the spa. And he said later on, when I get the basement, when she move all her stuff out the basement, he's gonna move everything and put the spa in the basement. But my spot was, the first floor was set up for salon, spa, and nails. By the window was nails, in the back was spa, and in the middle was hair. So okay, so we did it up. I bought new furniture and everything. Business was booming. I hired some girls, some guys. Anyway, when I'm ready to get the spot downstairs, because I noticed she's not moving her stuff. So I said, okay, Marlo, are you moving your stuff? Because, I want to do the spot for downstairs. Because I told her in the beginning what I plan on doing. She said, oh, by the way, we keeping the basement. I said, what? So she said, yeah, we're going to keep the basement to store our stuff or whatever. She just wanted to come over there and be nosy and stuff because she saw businesses booming and whatever. Some people just don't like good things for other people. So anyway, I was upset. So I said, okay, how much are you reducing the rent? Oh, she's not reducing the rent. I said, oh, really? She said, no. She said she's not reducing the rent. Da, da, da. So me and her, after that point, me and her stopped getting along. It was a back and forth thing, and whatever. And I think we was back and forth in not at court yet. We was just back and forth arguing in regards to the thing. I think I started deducting or whatever how much money I'm supposed to be paying for the basement too. I can't remember how it went, but I think something like that. So anyway, then she's gonna tell me. So about a couple of years later, because this went on for a while. A couple of years later, she wanted me to buy the building. I told her I don't think it's in a good spot. I don't want the building. So because I'm looking around, and even though I had a lot of business, everybody liked living in houses and not apartment buildings. Over there, they like living in houses or complexes, not storefronts. So at the time, I didn't think it was a good investment for me, So, but the next door neighbor eventually bought it. He was a contractor. So when he bought the thing, she going to tell me, "Oh, you can't have the back." I'm like, "What?" So she kept cutting down my thing, but not cutting down my rent. And I'm like, "Who the fuck you think you dealing with?" So I stopped paying her rent. I said, I'm gonna pay you for what I got, which is a salon. You're not gonna charge me for a basement and charge me for a backyard and get my money and then renege on it and still want the same amount of rent. So I cut my own rent back because you wasn't dealing with me. You and your husband looking at me like I'm stupid because I'm continually paying the rent. Because I really don't like arguing too much, once I have to argue with you, I'ma just go to hell in. I just fucking ignore you. Excuse my language. So if I have to continuously argue with you, I'm just gonna do the fuck I want to do, which I just cut the rent. So she didn't like that, of course, and since she wanted me out anyway, she took me to court. I won the case. She wasn't too happy, and now she had to sell the building with me in it. So when I spoke to the guy, he said, "Okay, you give me the backyard, I'll give you the basement." I said, "Bet." So he just wanted a tenant. She wanted me out or whatever. Sometimes your own people don't want good stuff for you. So I made a deal with him. But then my son graduated. But the story with her was, yeah, she was trying to jip me out my money, and she didn't want to lower the rent on her husband. So I tried talking to the husband, and the husband said whatever Marlo said. So I started talking to her and arguing with her and dealing with her. We went to court. I won the case or whatever, and she just got pissed the fuck off. And I didn't give a shit because I try to deal with you as a person. I try to deal with you as a client. You're not gonna treat me because I was young. I was in my 20s, early 30s, something like that. So I was doing everything by myself. They see me just whipping out cash and just giving it to them. Because when people ask me to pay certain rent or whatever, I try to be fair. I haggle, but I try to be fair because, like I said, I'm a business person. So how would I want to be treated as a landlord? You understand what I'm saying? So I don't always think as a tenant, so to speak. Sometimes it's not good for me, but it's fair for everybody, I think. So what I did, I looked at the place. I said the place is big, and then I was asking around about the prices. The price was reasonable, and so I said, okay, I'm not going to haggle too much with her or whatever, and because it seemed to be a fair price or whatever, um, because it was a big store. But then I guess when you do pay up front and you don't haggle, people look at you like, oh, she got money, so we're gonna bilk her for everything she got. No, bitch, you're not. I just try to be fair. You're not. When I find that when I think that you're bilking me out of my money, yeah, my antennas go up and it comes out. So anyway, the story with me, that's the story with me and Marlo. So that's why she don't like me, because I stood up to her and she couldn't charge me what the hell she wanted to charge me. You understand? But you know, and then the new landlord, he bought me out because at the time my son was about a year or two later, he bought me out because my son was graduating school. So I didn't want to be around there anyway, but I didn't let him know that. I didn't want to be around there anyway. And then I got a job. Um, I went back to work and started working as an officer. So that's that story, you know. So he bought me out. Um, Someone who worked up in the Bronx bought all my stuff because everybody came. That's when I met Eve, the rapper Eve. I met her hairstylist because her hairstylist opened a store down the block from where I used to work at across the street. Because her store, I think it's probably still there. Her store is on Flatbush in Cotillia, across the street from the pizza parlor, right there, on the not on the corner, but right there. It's on the coming from Coney Island Avenue. It's on the right. Coming from Flatbush Avenue, it's on the left, and the pizza parlor is across the street. That's Eve's beauty stylist, hairstylist, salon. She came to my shop because she wanted to buy stuff for her store, but the decor that I had wasn't going what she wanted. But somebody up in the Bronx came from the Bronx, and she brought out every. She said, "Rhonda, I want everything," because I stuck to my guns. I said, "I'm not selling my stuff piece by piece," because my stuff was still brand new. Because I had everything in plastic. I kept everything sanitized in plastic, so everything looked brand new. So the Spanish girl from the Bronx, she said she's like she's across the street from Jimmy's restaurant, Jimmy's Cafe up in the Bronx. She came down to the Bronx and she bought everything down to the mirrors. You hear me? my God. It was, I mean, God really loves me, I tell you. My friend said, Rhonda, I don't know how you do it, girl. You know, you always get what you want at the last minute. I said, yeah, because I believe in God. I said, he's really good to me. She said, at the last minute, somebody bought out your whole store. I said, yup. That means he's really in love with me. You understand? He don't even love me. He's in love with me. So that's why I gotta praise my God all the time. He always comes through for me. So anyway, that's the story of me and Marlo. But um, I'm not gonna dog her out all the time, but that's just the story. So I just don't like people taking advantage of me. That's all. Okay? So, because she was going through a lot of stressful things with her daughter being on the street, and she had to take care of her grandkids and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm not gonna tell you all the dirt. I'm just gonna tell you the business side. But that's it. That's the story of me and her. All right? Bye. Thank you for listening.